Good morning, Lennox. Can I just say something? This is my favourite laid out shop of all of the shops. I think that it's got places for groups to sit in. It's got places to sit on if you want to be on your own, and it's a shop that's grown and grown its over-the-counter business, and it's almost in Preston, I think, become a sort of destination if you want good service, if you want this layout. I mean, it's immaculately clean. You can eat your food off the floor, and excellent service, and you've been part of it. And thank you very much for coming in today on your day off. Now, you became a father young, didn't you? How old were you when you became a dad?
21.
21,
yeah,
eh?
So pretty young.
Yeah, and was it the making or the breaking of you?
I'd definitely say the making. Unless people have children themselves, but as soon as the first time holding your child, you just get a different feeling, don't you? Parenthood, basically.
I couldn't agree more. I mean, I think that it's that moment that is just life's T-junction, isn't it? And I think that if you don't feel responsibility in that moment and true love and the will to protect and care, you never will.
I agree. I mean, what I'd say to somebody starting off being a parent, scared or anything like that, it just comes naturally. There's no rule book to parenting, and when your child arrives or as you see them grow up, you're going to have stumbling blocks along the way, but like I say, there's no book to it, and take it as it comes.
And now you've been at football practice with your children this morning, I hear.
No, I've got my football top on
sorry.
Preston North End today.
Oh right, okay.
Yeah, go to football. One of my daughters does play football usually on a Saturday morning though, football training. So yeah, it's nice, when they're at a small age and you can take them to groups and see them grow and things like that.
How old are your children?
I've got a 6-year-old girl, a 2-year-old girl, and a 5-year-old stepson.
Oh really? Well, magic ages, magical. I tell you what, cherish every moment because they're suddenly 12 and they're not interested.
That's it.
I'll never forget the last time my son held my hand and I was busy. I was on the phone. I was taking some bets or something like that. I was walking along the seafront in Brighton with him, and I shunned him once to hold my hand. He never held my hand again.
Oh.
Yeah, there we go. And I'll never forget that moment. But now. We'd like to learn from you. Are you and get to know you better? Are you ready for your top 10?
I'm ready for it.
Okay. Lennox, question 1. How did you get into the betting industry?
Well, I was about 18 years of age, about 10 years ago now. When this shop used to be called Bet Sid at the time. We had one in Preston Town Centre as well, and I first started at Preston North End. We had a betting counter there, and Paul Kirkby gave me the job at Preston North End, and then just from there really they needed staff in the shop, so I think I started helping out in the Church Street shop at one point, and yeah, from then just never looked back. That's how it started off.
Now, what are you scared of in this life?
Oh, I'll be honest. It's got to be to do with the children. I think when, like we said at the start, when you've got children, they become a big part of your life.
I agree. Their pain is your pain.
Literally, yeah. You live, breathe them, everything. So I suppose biggest fear is if something ever happened to them, then yeah, that'd probably be my biggest fear.
I agree with you. I agree. You'd want to take the pain for them, wouldn't you?
Literally, yeah.
Yes. What makes an effective betting shop manager?
Personally, I feel like you've got to go that extra step above and beyond. Let the customer know that you are there to help. Give them the offers if needs be. Like, what makes you stand out different to the other shops around you, in terms of humour maybe from the staff.
Well, you're a cheeky fucker, so they get that.
I try my best, Ben. I try my best.
There we go.
Yeah, and then just general conversation, because I know there's a lot of people that come in here, especially the oldest folk. They might go home and not have anybody to speak to at home or anything
yes,
like that.
It's a community hub.
Yeah.
People don't realise this. People who don't go into betting shops dismiss them. Well, they don't know them, so maybe they should try it.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
And it might be the only conversation they have in the day. So the ones that come back every day, even everybody has, the odd customer that they think maybe a little bit of a pain with. But you just grin and bear it and have a conversation with them, and eventually you might start liking them and grow a bond in.
I agree. I agree. Everything's about relationships.
Yeah.
Now, so you're 28, are you?
Yeah.
So you're 28 with 3 children. There's not many people who've done that, right? Now, and you've had to learn on the job, as we all do.
Yeah.
But I think that when you're in your 20s, you're still learning yourself how to become a real adult. But what would you say so far is your best tip as a parent?
Just keep going. That's probably the biggest tip you can give. You're going to have bad days, you're going to have good days. It'd be stupid of me to sit here and say that I'm a perfect parent, because I don't think anybody's perfect. You're going to have bumps in the road and things like that. And like you say, I'm only 28. You learn from your mistakes. As long as you're giving...
What mistakes have you made as a parent?
I wouldn't say very, very bad mistakes. I'd feel like, just the guilt of sometimes, I don't know. I feel like, I can't even explain it, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's one of them in the moment.
But yes, but you do feel guilty at times, because the thing is it is hard to say no to somebody so innocent. But I do think, though, that but if a child never hears the word no, adulthood's going to be very difficult. So I think that if you feel a bit guilty, that's probably called discipline. Yeah. So yeah. Now, what's your favourite song, and what memory or meaning does it come with?
There's an Ed Sheeran song.
Yes.
Castle on the Hill, it's called.
Right.
And I remember that being played in the background when my first daughter was born.
Oh, wonderful.
It's literally a memory that'll live with me forever. It's just so much, like I say, just a song to me. It was the first thing that I heard when she was born. And I feel like it's good with things like music, because you can relate to it in different ways. Like memories and things like that, and to me that's probably my favourite one.
When my first daughter was born, it was never ever considered that there'd be a C-section, and I'd been awake for so long, I was so tired, and the doctor suddenly said, no, we're doing a C-section, and it knocked me bandy. I said, well, no, that had never been mentioned. I thought that you were going to keep on giving the inducement speed-up juice, and the doctor said, no, and I went completely irrational, and I went downstairs into the hospital car park and rang my mother and sobbed like a baby, and I said, Mum, I'm so worried they're going to cut the baby, right? And I went back in, they put the blue gown on me, the condom on my head. So I sat right at the batsman's end, vital, and they got on with it. But the most incredible experience. When they hold the baby up, it's incredible.
And then cutting the cord.
Oh my God! Yeah.
I don't know about you, Ben, but I feel like it's one of those that, unless you're there in the moment.
I completely agree. You don't know. When people say that they know what certain things feel like. When a parent dies, when you become a parent, or if you were told you've got cancer, everybody will react differently. But to say that you know how you will feel is ignorant.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Where would you most like to visit in this world?
There's a couple of places, to be fair. Since I've been a child, I've always wanted to visit America, Australia as well. I've got a couple of friends that have been going out to Australia, but as I said, having children young, they become your priority, and certain things have to go out the window. So eventually I'd like to visit places like America, Miami mostly for the sport. basketball. I'd like to see that over there. Baseball, what they do. So yeah, places like that.
Yeah, good.
Better weather as well.
Yes, of course. Well, how would you describe yourself, Lennox?
Honest, friendly, a man of the people. I like to put people first. My children first, you know, my partner. And if I see somebody, you know, down or things like that, you just never know. And it might be a bit deep, but you never know if it might be the last conversation you have with somebody. So the way I see it is, just make every day like it's your last, and any conversation the same, really.
That's a Stoic's attitude. Stoics live every day as if it's their last day. Are you a Stoic?
I must be.
Well, no, it's not a religion, it's a sort of way of life. I know someone who's a Stoic, and that's almost their mantra. Right, live each day as if it's the last, and never leave anything unsaid.
Yeah.
Now, what's your favourite film or book, and what did you take from it?
That's a good question. I'd say The Lion King, only because I remember watching it as a child, and then obviously the new one's out now, and I took my children to go and watch it as well. So it felt like something from the first time watching it as a child myself, to then the new one.
But I'm enjoying that as well. And a lady who runs the betting shop the other day in Liverpool, she said she loves Matilda because she read it as a child, and now she's having another go now. And I completely agree.
Memories,
This is it. I mean, I watched Peter Pan about 1,000 times as a child, and now as an adult, I've watched it about another 1,000 times. And I not Peter Pan and Bambi, but it's absolutely fantastic.
There's just certain ones in them that you can, you know, relate to, and I just feel like these new ones that they bring out that are the same as the old ones. Yeah. You know, they just never get boring.
So with the Lion King, you'd say that it brings you back to your childhood. It's not like it came with a lesson.
No, yeah, back to the childhood. Yeah, pretty much. And like I say, it was just nice to be able to experience that with my children as well at the same time.
Lennox, I think that you've won at life. I think you've worked life out at a very early age. And I wish I had. And keep being you, and thank you very much.
No, thank you, man. Thank you.